radio.com/GistFM every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep it date.
There is no break in the activities you find in the political space. It's ongoing even during festive seasons. There is no holiday in policy making. Good morning and welcome to Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I am Martin Ifanshuku, AKZ. As man is a political animal, the collective problems we face, on daily basis as a society connects us. We support leaders who represent our plight, and so ethnicity is only a distraction, but remains a great weapon used by politicians to garner votes from electorates. But in some cases, the walls of ethnicity is torn down by the urge to see a better society, but based on the belief system of person or persons. The development we see today, as the 2023 general elections approaches, is that the elections is going to be about the wish and the poor, because it seems like the political interest of the rich differs from the interests of the poor. From the interests, yet a lot of politicians have ways of appealing both to the rich and the poor electorates. The rich who knows how to influence the poor can also be contracted to, influence with immediate gratification of vote buying, right or wrong. You decide, but wrong because one could also be, arrested for doing such a thing. This and more will be the cause of our discussion on political views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM today. And before we go any further, let me bring you up to speed on the recent happenings in the Nigerian political space today. Now, the headlines. ZLP says Oshun Token no longer is member. INEC insists he is. Ugwuanyi signs 2023 budget, says implementation starts January. Nigerians seek responsible government in 2023. Federal government denies fresh salaries for civil servants. Northern Forum insists on MFLA's prosecution. Supporters jubilate as court grants senator bail. Edo deputy governor denies OB's $300,000 bribery allegation. Edo deputy governor denies OB's $300,000 bribery allegation. Hope for better Nigeria on Obi, says Oshun Tokun. Retreat backs Igbo presidency as group deplores negative campaign. Ilana Omo Oodua launches radio to aid self-determination. January 1st appoints patrons. Now, the details. ZLP says Oshun Tokun no longer is member. INEC insists he is. The national chairman slash presidential candidate Zenith Labour Party (ZLP) Chief Dan Wanyanwu has clarified a controversy generated by the appointment of Mr. Akin Oshuntokun as the Director General of Peter Obi Campaign Organization, following the resignation of Dr. Doyin Okupe, SY Director General of Obi Dati Campaign Council. Oshuntokun was named as his replacement. Square to this development, issues were raised to his alleged dual membership of two political parties, alleging that he is still the senatorial candidate on the platform of ZLP in Ekiti State. In a statement issued on Friday, Chief Wanyanwu said the matters raised were not necessary as Oshuntokun had ceased to be member of the ZLP since August 2022. According to Wanyanwu, Oshuntoku resigned from the ZLP since August 2022 and therefore no longer a member of the party, saying that prior to his resignation from ZLP, he held the ticket as a senatorial candidate in Ekiti. He said, as at the time of his resignation, we could not replace him because the window allowed by the Electoral Act for substitution had elapsed. We hold no grudges because it is his fundamental right to associate and exit any organization. We wish him well in his newfound greener remains the senatorial candidate for Ekiti senatorial zone under ZLP. However, renowned constitutional lawyer and former national secretary of the Labour Party, Dr. Kayode Ajulo, has said that no law in Nigeria constitution gives directive on how to appoint the director general of a political campaign. Uruguay signs 2023 budget, says implementation starts January. Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State on Friday assented to the 2023 appropriation bill of 166,602,416 passed by the Senate of House of Assembly. Signing the approved 2023 budget into law, Ugwuanyi said the exercise has signified the completion of the process of the appropriation of funds for the business of governance of Enugu State in the year 2023. He said, "Square to my presentation of the state's 2023 budget proposal to Enugu State House of Assembly on December 15, 2022. The governor added that his administration, through the instrumentality of the 2023 budget tagged Budget of Consolidation and Transition, seeks to consolidate its achievement in various sectors of the state and transit the state's governance to inbound administration." Governor Ugwuanyi, who expressed delight that the State House of Assembly, as always, gave the budget proposal expeditious consideration and approval, reiterated his administration's readiness and preparedness to commence the 2023 budget implementation in earnest with effect from January 1, 2023. He said, "This is also the last time I will be assenting to the full year budget of Enugu State as governor under the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended." He thanked the leadership and members of the House of Assembly for responding to the imperative of accelerated consideration and approval of the budget, adding, "I acknowledge the dedicated clerk and other staff of the House whose contribution to legislative business, though invaluable, are largely unsung." Nigerians seek responsible governor. Nigeria seeks responsible government in 2023. As the year 2022 ends today, Nigerians have tasked President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to prioritize policies and initiatives that will make life meaningful and the country livable for the citizens in 2023. Those who spoke to newsmen asked President Buhari to ensure that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, conduct free, fair, and credible elections that will truly reflect the will of Nigerians and usher in a new administration that will put the country on the path of true development. The calls came against the backdrop of widespread complaints by various segments of the society, interest groups, and individuals of dashed expectations from a government that is in its twilight in the coming year. From the Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, the civil society, human rights groups, Union of Textile Workers, pressure and social cultural groups, and business community to students, the failures of governments at various levels to provide the enabling atmosphere for Nigerians to live good life and thrive formed the cruise of lamentations and the basis of expectations in 2023. Specifically, the National Publicity Secretary of Pan Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, Ken Robinson, said the group's earnest expectation in 2023 for Buhari is to allow INEC conduct free, fair, and credible elections and to commit to handing over power peacefully to whoever wins the presidential election. He said any other expectation would rather be misplaced in the circumstances. They are in the twilight of the administration. What can they do now? Is it what they have been unable to do in 7 years that will be done in 5 months? He stated. Federal government denies salaries of civil servants. The expectations of a salary increase for civil and public servants have been dashed by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige. In a clarification by the head, press and public relations unit of the ministry, Olajide Oshudun, in Abuja last night, Ngige said he was misquoted by State House correspondent on the issue. Ngige pointed out that what he referred to was remuneration, emolu- emol- emoluments of the affected workers, especially the civil servants. I take that again. Ngige pointed out that what he referred to was remuneration and emo- emoluments of the affected workers, especially the civil servants. The Presidential Committee on Salaries, PCS, through the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, OSGF, received recommendations for reviewing for review of allowances of many ministries, departments, and agencies of government because salary component is not being reviewed for now by the committee. It addressed the allowances component of the request, including the peculiar allowance for federal civil servants, amongst others, he noted. He added that in labor parlance, as per payment for compensation for work done, remuneration, 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 or emoluments make up salary component and in allowance component. Therefore, the federal government, through the PCS, could not have engaged on the review of salaries without involving the workers through their unions, represented by the two Labour Federation of Workers in Nigeria, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria (TUC). Salary review of renegotiation is part of the social dialogue, and the product is usually a collective bargaining agreement (CBA) agreed to by both parties, employers and employees, he stated. Supporters jubilate as court grants senator bail. Following the bail granted Senator Basi Aban, Akwa Ibom Northeast, by a high court sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Thousands of his supporters have gone into wide jubilation. Aban, who is also Akwa Ibom State governorship candidate of YPP, Young Progressive Party, in the 2023 polls, arrived Uyo on Thursday after his release, jubilating with the senator's wife. YPP faithful and his teeming supporters expressed gratitude to God for their candidate's release. Despite his ordeal in the hands of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), Aban's supporters still believe in his leadership ability and as such supported his cause even in his absence. They had reportedly vowed to vote for him even if he is in detention during next year's ballot. Prosecuted by EFCC, the senator was jailed for 2 years without an option of fine for corruption. Aban's running mate, a retired Assistant Inspector General of Police (AIG), Anwana Amba, described his principal's ordeal as a test of his faith. He announced that Aban took his milk of kindness to the Ikote Ekpene Correctional Center, where he donated medical supplies to ease the medical concerns of inmates and facilitated release of several inmates who could not afford their bail. Edo Deputy Governor denies Obi's $300,000 bribery allegation. The Edo State Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, had dismissed remarks credited to the National Vice Chairman, South of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Chief Dan Obi, which accused Governor Godwin Obaseki of defrauding him of $300,000 during the run-up to the party's primary for the 2020 governorship election. A statement signed by Shaibu and made available to newsmen in Benin City, the state capital, he said there was no iota of truth about any $300,000 exchanging hands between himself and his boss ahead of the 2020 election. The statement reads, "Nothing can be further from the truth. I want to state without equivocation that no such transaction ever occurred. It even betrays reasons that I, as deputy governor, who would have to send the governor, my boss, on errand to hand money to a party leader. It is an aberration of the highest proportion that deserves no contemplation. I therefore condemn the rumor in its entirety and urge that the insinuation be disregarded on as it has no basis in facts," he stated. Obi had, during the Yuletide, accused Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki of swindling his deputy, Comrade Philip Shaibu, of $300,000 during the run-up to party's primary for the 2020 governorship elections. Hope for better Nigeria on Obi, says Oshuntokun. Newly appointed Director General of Obidati Presidential Campaign Council, Akin Oshuntokun, has indicated that Nigerians have placed their hope for a better nation on Labour Party Presidential Standard Bearer, Peter Obi. This, he said, is the reason the former Anambra State Governor had become the toast of the people, evidenced by the teeming organic support his emergence has been receiving nationwide. Oshintoku spoke while officially delivering his acceptance speech yesterday in Abuja. His predecessor, Dr. Doyin Okupe, had voluntarily resigned after being convicted for breaching the Money Laundering Act by the Federal High Court, Abuja. He was found guilty of 26 of a 59-count charge preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Oshuntoko, while declaring that he had accepted the appointment, observed, "It is with deep sense of duty and humility that I accept my appointment as the Director General of Obidati Presidential Campaign Council, especially at this critical point of Nigeria's political history. every ardent observer of the Nigerian political space and recent trends of events will attest to the teeming organic support the emergence of His Excellency Peter Obi as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party has received across the country. This is undeniable, a pointer to the fact that Nigerians have anchored their hope on the ensuing victory of Peter Obi in the coming 2023 presidential election. My team and I hereby promise to work assiduously to ensure victory for the Obi Dati ticket come February 2023. We are not oblivious of the magnitude of work required of us to deliver on the promise so declared. We are braced for it and equally find solace in divine guidance, the counsel of our elders, and unflinching support of well-meaning Nigerians that are eager to see the Nigerian socio-economic status quo upturned and our beloved country progress like other progressing countries all over the world. He urged supporters in the country and diaspora to support. Retreat backs Igbo presidency as group deplores negative campaign. Participants at the fourth Igbo International Christmas Retreat organized by Igbo Think Tank and Nzuko Ndi Igbo yesterday in Umuahia, Abia State, said supporting the Southeast to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023 only restore peace in the region, but also check the rising agitation for self-determination. In a communique signed by Chairman of the Think Tank Board of Trustees, Professor Madubike Ezibe, and the president of Nzukondi Igbo, Chuks Ibebu, the gathering consequently endorsed the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, urging Nigerians to vote for him. The partakers enjoined the citizenry to queue behind a competent flag bearer from the geopolitical zone in line with the zoning policy adopted for peace to reign in the southwest following the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election believed to have been won by the late Chief Moshood Abiola of the defunct Social Democratic Party. To them, electing a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction in 2023 will make it impossible for agitators to connive to convince young ones to join them. To them, electing a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction in 2023 will make it impossible for agitators to convince young ones to join them and give us peace in the southeast, as happened with National Democratic Coalition in the southwest in 1999. The retreat expressed worry that zoning of the presidency mooted to ensure justice and fairness for the peaceful coexistence of the country was jettisoned at the last minute by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and All Progressive Congress (APC) to the detriment of the Southeast. The participants argued that since every geopolitical zone in southern Nigeria except southeast had produced the president, equity and justice demand that the southeast should in 2023 produce the nation's chief executive. The communique read in parts, it was expected that the 1999 scenario of leaving presidential contest to only people from the deserving zone have been repeated should have been repeated for the Southeast in 2023. Similarly, Southeast Revival Group, Surge, has charged Nigerians to ignore those fanning hatred against Igbo presidency, describing them as inconsistent and selfish politicians. The last story we have for you here is Ilana Omo Oodua launches radio to aid self-determination. January 1st, appoints patrons. Yoruba Self-Determination Group, Ilana Omo Oodua Worldwide, will on January 1st, 2023, formally unveil Radio Ijambara to drive the struggle. The online medium will be broadcasting live from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. A joint statement by Chairman and General Secretary of the group, Professor Wale Adeniran and Dr. Tunde Amusat, said the radio will serve the interests of the struggle within and outside Nigeria. We are inviting all Yoruba self-determination activists to launch and formally unveiling of Ijambara Radio on January 1st, 2023. This radio is being donated by Ilana Omo Oodua to serve as the official broadcast radio of the Yoruba self-determination struggle, the statement reads. The launch, according to the statement, is via Zoom. Meanwhile, the organization has announced appointment of an Ado Ekiti-based prominent medic, Dr. Adebayo Orire, and erstwhile chairman of Kojoala local government area of Oyo State, Alhaji Ali Oyedeji, popularly known as Baba Dodo, as patrons. Oyedeji hails from Okeho. He was council chairman between 1996 and 1997. A respected community leader, Oyedeji once served as member of governing council of the Polytechnic Ibadan and the National Salaries and Wages Commission. Orile, on his part, is a grassroots mobilizer, community leader, and currently chairman, Elite Mobilization Committee of IOOW. He contested twice unsuccessfully the governorship of Ekiti State. There you have it. What are your political views? This is Political Views on Airborne at the 103.5 FM. I am Martin Ifan Shukwekize. Before we go any further, I listen to before we go any further to listen to your views, though, before we go any further to listen to your views, let's go for a commercial break and we will be right back after this.
Supporters of Obidati tickets comes together in the field of play. Anambra Eagles Obidati football team versus Anambra Lions Obidati football team is happening live at St. Mary's High School in Plebunu, Local Government area of Anambra State. On the 1st of January 2023, kick-off time 4 o'clock p.m. Don't miss it. Be there. Powered by Baby Front Support Group.
Welcome back. It is still Political Views on Ebona at the 103.5 FM, and I remain Martin Ifan Shukwekize. The influence of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party is like all over the news today, and gave birth to this Obi Dati football tournament where you see Anambra Eagles Obi Dati football team versus Anambra Lion Obi Dati football team. So politically, that influence is also getting into sports, even just like that. And we have a situation whereby these two teams will be, squaring it off, but it is like just the kickoff. The entire tournament will just happen the way it happened, but this is like eventually the kickoff of this particular football tournament, and it's going to start on like January 1st, Sunday. Is going to start that day, and then the venue where they are doing it is St. Mary's High School, if they do call local government area of Anambra State. This is this is quite uh, interesting. That's the thing. And that said, this is political views. At the time, what laws justifies the appointment of a director general of a presidential campaign council? It is political views on Ebon at the 103.5 FM. Remember that we, talked about the issue of Oshuntoko no no longer being a member of ZLP, Zenith Labour Party. We talked about that, and then INEC insists that he is a member of that party, being that he is the senatorial candidate of that particular party. But the party is talking about the fact that, okay, this guy resigned a couple of months back, but INEC insists that he is. But at the time, the argument presented here is that there is no law, that directs one or directs a political party on how to appoint its director general. If not, the issue of the G5 governors against AYU could have also been maybe attacked by INEC as well. What are your political views? This program is basically for people who are grounded, in politics. The number you will call to become part of the discussion we are having here is 08096661035. What are your political views this morning? Also, remember that we talked about Ugwani, his signing 2023 budget says implementation starts by January. Remember that we talked about that. We also talked about Nigerians seek responsible government in 2023. Are you also part of the Nigerians who is seeking that responsible government in 2023? And how are you going about it? This particular story is talking about, civil societies. It's talking about pressure groups. It's talking about societies that represent the interests of Nigerian people. And what most people are clamoring for is a free and fair election come 2023. What is your take on that particular issue? Are you also part of Nigerians who is talking about that election and wants it to be free and fair? Do you see a situation whereby that particular election is going to be free and fair? Do you think that the Bermuda voters accreditation system is going to aid this election to be that free and fair? What are your political views this morning? 08096661035 to become part of the conversation here. The next one says federal government denies fresh salaries for civil servants. If you remember vividly, a couple of weeks, like, or a couple of days back, we heard news of the situation that, okay, that the federal government is taking a review on the salaries of civil servants. Okay, there is going to be some kind of uh, increment to the salaries given. And at the time, even Labor Congress, Nigerian Labor Congress chairman also began to give directives on how the federal government will go about it really. And at the end of the day, it is said that it is not so. The Minister of Labor, um, Senator Ngige, is saying that he was misquoted by the State House correspondent. What are your views politically? Supporters jubilate as court grants senator bail. Now, remember that we also talked about hope for better Nigeria on Obi says Oshun Tokun. And he talked about all of this, during his acceptance speech as the newly appointed Director General of Obi Dati Presidential Campaign Council, Akin Oshuntoku. Is telling Nigerians to place their hope, for a better nation on Labour Party presidential standard bearer, Peter Obi. And he's saying this based on what he can see on ground already. He's talking about the fact that a lot of Nigerians are, putting their support behind him, but at the same time, we have other people supporting other presidential candidates as well. Today is the last day of 2022. What do you foresee in the, like, as we, cross over to 2023 now, politically? What are your expectations when it comes to that 2023? We've been clamoring, we've been talking about 2023 general election. Everybody is talking about it. It's always on the news, on the political space in Nigeria today. Everything that we foresee, even on the news today, we are also talking about the fact that a lot of groups in Nigeria are also talking need um, responsible government, and this is being demanded by, okay, let's have a free and fair election, which is one thing that the president Muhammad Buhari pledged, that he is going to conduct such an election where everything is free and fair. Everybody who emerges as winner, will confirm. Even the person who lost will he also be like, okay, yes, this is what is on ground. We accept the fact, basically, as free and fair as it could be. That's exactly what we're talking about. And then African Union as well is also saying that they confirm the fact that, okay, President Buhari is going to do that, going to make sure that the election is free and fair. And at the same time, Bermuda voters accreditation system is one of the things everybody is looking upon now to say, okay, that election is going to be free and fair. But at the same time, the level of insecurity, all that is going on in the country, what is your take politically? What do you foresee by tomorrow, which is 2023? Today is 2022. By tomorrow, it will be 2023. What do you see politically? What do you foresee? If you're grounded politically, you should know exactly all that is going on in the political space today. So, well, as a Nigerian, as a patriotic one, what is your take? What do you see for 2023? Well, how do you see, everything is going to pan out? Based on all the stories we also talked about today, the numbers you will call to become part of this conversation: 080 96661035. Yes, the network is very poor, very, very poor. And, I would have loved a situation whereby we have this conversation, talk about our political space, the way we used to do it on this program. But today, the network is really poor. But keep the calls coming, maybe in one way or two, we'll have this discussion. But as well, you can also send WhatsApp message to the same number or SMS to the same number, so that in one way or the other, we'll have this conversation. Send it to the number 08096661035. What are your political views? Call the same number, 08096661035. Hello. Hello.
Okay, Oma.
Yeah. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good.
After gonna be sabo.
Connecting me up.
Okay. Ngwa gaba n'iru.
Ah, esi na ndị Yoruba
Hmm.
ndị asịmara na-ekwe esi na ndị Oduduwa
Yes.
etinyego redio ha
Hmm.
na mba ụwa
Okay.
ka ha wee na-anụ olu ha
Na-ekwu ife
ma
gbasara.
n'obodo na mba ụwa.
Hmm.
Ọ ife dị mma ka ọ bụ.
Okay.
It's a good thing which everybody also clamoring on it, divide nation, because the system is not working. So ọ ya wụ ihe a na-ekwu okwu maka na ala ọbụla na-adịghị mma. Ọ uru ndị ajọ ezigbote onye nze amapụta nke ala nsafedị ma ezigbote onye nze ga-emepụta nke ala dị mma. Ịfụrụ ya ala ọbụla na-adịghị mma uru ndị ajọ nze ọ nwere ndị na-esobesiti n'obodo na-esite na igbu mmadụ na ihe ọjọọ na-aga n'obodo asịghị mba anyị ebu ego ọsọ ego ka a mara anya ihe a ndị Yoruba mere ise very good development. All the Christianity also took the federal government to court about one of the person that side. It's a very good one. Let's try the one with the Magugua. How many people? Let the world know what is going on in this country. Different part of this nation are waiting to divide nation. Whatever like to talk to you before.
Okay. I have a question. Okay.
Nke a na-eme na-apụta ndị Yoruba na-ekwucha na ọnwụ na ndị na-ekwu nke ahụ ọnwụ ndị Igbo na-ekwu nke ahụ ọnwụ na ndị mmadụ amatagwu ihe na-eme n'obodo adasị na the system ada
all the same all the same all Sunday Igbo. This is about Sunday Igbo.
I welcome the idea.
Okay. Now
Igbo na onwe akịta na akwa efere ya mmadụ dakwụsite ihe dị na-abịa ya wee kwụsịta site na ọkụsịta ndị Igbo oke nwụrụ by DSS.
Okay.
So all we can define when you talk about freedom, or they can actually commit to go a crime. It's not a crime. What do you know when it's not a crime? And it's clear number one in there. So my couldn't know what I think 300 of that. I'm very, very happy to that. Number one about go on and they should come to this nation to interfere. I'm not bad for kind of any joke, but also to make it on your manner. I am one at one and a half an hour, but divide the nation. Let everybody go on the pressure peacefully. That way, when that business, take over that. I want people to go their own. That way, when business transaction, all they forward.
My question now is, okay, since you are in support of, but you should know that what if the system begin to work? Because all these things is as a result of the fact that, okay, many people want things to work. What if, okay, by 2023, we get a government that will put smiles on the face of the people? Will you still clamor for, for this unity, for us to go our separate ways, just the way you will put it? Everything that brings about this agitation is just the fact, okay, that people are not happy because unemployment, a whole lot of challenges that we face as a nation. That's the reason why we see these things, that we see all these agitations. If things are working properly, these agitations won't be there in the first place. So, the number of this conversation, 080, in that manner. What is also your take? What do you see in 2023 in the political space in Nigeria? Let's hear from you. Hello? Yeah, good morning. Please call 096661035. Keep the calls coming. Network is messing with us, but let's just keep this conversation going. It is important we do this review of the political activities in the country in 2022, and now we are stepping into 2023. By tomorrow now we'll be in 2023 by the grace of the Most High. So what is your take politically? What do you see in 2023 politically? Let's hear from you. Hello. Yeah, good morning.
My name is John. I'm coming from Mexico.
Please go on. Hello? Please call back. 08096661035. And remember, when you call, move away from your radio set. Please keep the calls coming. Let's have this conversation. What do you see, politically in 2023? What do you see? How do you think things will pan out? Based on your interest, though, because basically in 2022, we were talking about this, that, everybody have who they supported or what they supported, what are you supporting, or what do you see will happen in 2023? Hello? Hello? Oh, please call back 08096661035. For example, Simon Ekpa was talking about 2023, and what he sees in 2023 is quite different from what most people who support presidential candidates of the Labour Party, or people who support the presidential candidate of the APC, or people who support the presidential candidate of the PDP or any other political party. That's the difference there. So what do you see in 2023? Even the general elections as it approaches now, what do you see in that particular? The numbers again, 08096661035. Let's hear from you. Hello? Hello? Oh, hello.
I hope you are hearing me.
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit. Just keep going. Your name and location.
Okay, my name is Engineer Innocent from Nnewi.
Okay, please go on.
Please, when we are in serious responsibility, some people look at it another way.
Okay.
The person in this nation, the nation cannot move forward again. Everything has gone. And we know that we can get this nation to be as before.
Yes, now, but at a time, it takes will. According to one presidential candidate in Nigeria, he said it takes few people to change the nation. No, just few. It's not everybody that will change the nation. It's just few people that will change the system, and everything will change. So, don't you think so?
Expect that. How do you expect that somebody at this office or whatever can change this situation? Nobody can change it, because
Do you believe that nothing is impossible?
It belongs to Fulani people. When we are talking like this, you people may feel like we are hating people. We are not hating anybody. We can see recognized by as taking ourselves. You get me? When people are talking, just to listen very well, you see that what we are talking is very, very important. Look at our brother there, Nnamdi Kanu. He's here in the chair. Well, his court have already decided for him to go. But now they're detaining there. What are we talking about? Election. The election is more than that guy like. In fact, I'm not happy.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Anyway, it is your take. The election also can be useful in actualizing that particular yearning you have for his freedom. So election is very much important in all that happens around the corridors of power. The political will that we are talking about, when that election happens, it could also bring about, bringing that to the table as well. Let's hear from you. Hello? Hello? Yeah, good morning. Wow, please call back 08096661035. Based on your interest, the interest you had politically in 2022, I will say hard now, because in a couple of hours we'll be in 2023 by the grace of God. What do you see in that 2023 politically? Let's hear from you. Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm very fine. And you?
I'm fine.
Okay, your name and location?
Ikechukwu calling from Oka.
Okay, please go on, Ikechukwu.
Yes. My view and my interest is that we should vote wisely.
Okay.
We should remove this sentiment of Emilokon of Southeast people.
Okay.
It's our turn. And vote wisely.
Okay.
First of all, let me also talk to my brothers and sisters that are agitating for that this country can never work. If they are following history, what is happening in other climes, they should be able to know that what they are talking about, I will not say it's totally wrong, but we should be able to be learning from the people's mistakes.
Okay.
In South Sudan, this thing happened. I don't know whether it was in your news or other radio that I heard this yesterday.
Okay.
That South Sudan, the same people that say that they can no longer stay with Sudan, and we are disintegrated around 2010.
There was war, sir.
South Sudan that is apart today, they are fighting each other, ethnic crisis. South Sudan that we are saying that it was because we are together with Sudan that we cannot exist, that we have oil and they are marginalizing us. Today they are still fighting themselves and they cannot even survive. They are living on humanitarian services of UN. They cannot feed now if UN did not give them food.
With all the wealth they have, sir.
With all the wealth, all the oil wealth and everything, they are now suffering. They are now a kind of realizing that they made a mistake of going out of Sudan.
Okay.
And people, after learning from other people, they say they still want to go into mistakes. My brother, if you want to maybe explain it, it's just like somebody trying to. If I will call it a madness, I'm not mistaken.
No,
you cannot see.
If you look at it, properly, you see that even Ethiopia learned a lesson from Sudan to now stop their own, and go back to building their nation.
Yes, and now you cannot talk about it where you come from. There, if you talk about it, they will tell you.
That's the thing.
So Nigerians, Southeastern, and my brothers and sisters here, you'll be learning from the people's mistakes. If you cannot maybe organize your own home, how do you think that Nigeria, that is as big as this, where you want it, if you cannot keep your immediate family at peace? Okay. So what we need is let the majority of Nigerians think positively about this country. That is the only thing that can make this country work.
Yes.
Like I was saying, let us do away with this ethnic settlement and as far as I'm concerned, I'm from Anambra State. I'm not a JJC here. The man that we are talking to be the president of this country is highly incompetent. The man that we are talking about that is going to be the president of Nigeria that will better Nigeria laws is among all these contestants is the highest incompetent person.
You believe so? It
is your take. Can we talk about the road because water here? Are we not asking ourselves why water is not running in Anambra State? He was the person that destroyed water corporation in Anambra State.
It started happening before he came in, though. Not him. It started even from the military administrators. Starting from Mike Atta, not even him. It started from Mike Atta down to the other military administrators that came on board. So it's not really his fault. So you can't put that on him.
My brother, even water ran even up to the early days of his administration in Anambra State. But
no. That is not so. It is not true. It is not true. Water completely stopped at Mbanuju's administration completely. No. I have the facts, bros. I have the facts. I'm telling you the truth. Before he came on board. No, the last time we saw water in Anambra State was Mbanuju. That was the last time. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you a fact.
Okay, well,
I'm telling you a fact.
The truth of the matter is that
hello.
So we are paying them. But this man.
No, even as at Mbanuju, no waterworks, water corporation staff was being paid anymore. I have so many of them as friends. I know so many of them. So
my brother,
from Mbanuju.
Do you want me to connect one of my friends that was water corporation and staff?
It will be good, but we'll do that on a separate day. Let's continue with what we are talking about. Yes, it will be good. We'll just we'll keep that conversation on so that we'll deal with that one differently. It is a topic for a different day. So let's bring it back to the politics of today. What is going on today? All that is going on today. What do you see in 2023, even if he is not the person you support, the person, what do you see now based on like your support now or the interest you have in 2023?
My brother, what I'm trying to say is that the truth of the matter is that we should, if all of us are not patriotic, even if we bring out that man, nothing will change. Okay. Because if I want to recall what was happening before the coming of President Muhammad Buhari, I'm here and most of my brothers were also here. And most of them were saying that even if this man tied the whole of Southeast with gold, that they can never support him. In other words, what they were saying is that they can never support this man, even if this man is doing well. And if you want to talk about infrastructure, if you want to talk about any other thing in Southeast, this man, if you want to be sincere to yourself, you rate this man higher. Okay. And still, the people are still condemning the man. The people are still saying that the man failed woefully. So
Yes,
how can a country work in this type of animosity, in this type of hatred without thinking about what they are going to benefit?
Okay.
So the truth of the matter is that let's do away with ethnic sentiment and focus on this issue. We are always talking about federal, and we are not even asking ourselves what is the local government chairman and the governor that we have elected. What are they doing?
Okay.
So Nigeria will work if we do away with ethnic sentiment, because politicians will come around and tell you because he's not in this party. That's why they are fighting him. And you have to ask him, what is that they are fighting you for? Is it that you stole? So when you stole that money, do you bring it here? And when the federal government is fighting you, and you now remember that they are fighting you because of you collected money because you are Igbo man.
Okay.
So we should be able to be asking the pertinent question, not because
not sentimental questions, right?
I was listening to what Senator trying to meet the people, telling them what he can never do because he wants them to elect him again. So the truth of the matter is that let us do away with ethnic sentiment and vote person that can turn around this nation.
Okay.
The man that we are talking about can never turn anything around, because in Anambra State, small Anambra State, he cannot develop small Anambra State. And we are talking about the whole of Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Let's allow another person to come in. Thank you so much for joining us this morning still.
Thank you.
Yes, it is still Political Views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. I'm not contending with anybody, or I'm not defending anybody's, but I won't allow false statements be made about a particular individual on this platform. So let's not also be sentimental in our input. I will address some of the issues you talked about after this call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
Yeah, my name is Chike. I'm calling from
Please go on.
Yeah, I so much love this program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I so love for this last speaker now, what the man is saying is out of the point.
Okay.
Because one thing for sure is that he hasn't saw anybody said that is incompetent. How? Because if you check the records of him as a president, as a top governor, and this present contestant now, the two men, he has better records for Nigerians. Okay, for instance, now look at what happened now. Is it the old man that will give the power to make this Nigeria be okay now? Or the man that already been in power for years and as a vice, nothing happened to from his own tenure?
Okay.
So just imagine, now we are glamorous to be a better Nigeria and be in one Nigeria. Yes, it's good, it's wonderful. But as I said earlier, what causes agitation is when people are not doing well. People can say, let me go on my own. But if we have a better president that can change this country, I think one Nigeria is okay.
Yeah.
And we simply believe, as I said earlier, I'm not a party candidate. I don't belong in any party. What I mean, I don't advise anyone say this is better, this is better. But anyone that will make Nigeria to be good, I'm coming for him. Based on their record they have, I mean, whatever they pulling, whatever they have conducted the past month and this month, earlier this month. You see that the Labour Party has 50%, another one follows it up. That's what you see. Yeah, and in Nigeria now, that's what we really hope is a person who can turn this mess for people to enjoy. Okay, just imagine now. Today now is 31st of December. A liter of fuel now is almost 300 naira per liter.
That's the thing.
Then we are glamour a better Nigeria. Our country is weak.
Okay.
Then this morning at the listening radio now, just common from Asabahia to Onja is close to 1,000 naira in less than 10 drive.
Okay.
So what we are trying to do is if Nigerians can wake up and face their eyes on who they believe that can change this country better, it's good for us.
Okay.
This Yoruba edition now that installed their radio station now, I think this from it might be lucky from Sunday.
Yeah.
And yes, and I know that man what making him go up is because Carl have already said his own, and he put interest on what Carl said and thought it as it is right. Now, for instance, we talk about these killings now in Nigeria. Just imagine ordinary Fulani men we gather AK-47 inside bush and killing people go feel like that. What are we talking about? So if Nigeria will understand what Master crying now, let's see somebody who believes
Okay.
that can resolve something.
Yes, the last caller made a very valid point, irrespective of the fact that he made some other statement that is not did not all go well with what we are doing here. But he made a valid point, the fact that okay, citizens are supposed to be patriotic, even when you vote the right person in, and citizens are not patriotic enough to enable that person, that things will still not work out. So we need to change the mindset of Nigerians. So what do you think on that aspect?
Like you look at it this way.
Okay.
Like what you said earlier, one of them said to take few people to change this country. Now, assuming that you have the mindset I have, and we invite others to have the mindset we have to make this country be good,
Okay.
it will be okay. Now, what makes this Nigeria be where they are today is because they have a bad record of information political speech. You see it now. Now, once somebody will come and know that this is not right, this is right, you know, to have invest in themselves money. But if we have people can say this really is not good, now what towards it? You will see another Nigeria.
Okay.
Okay, for instance, like our right now, we ban the division of rights. Then we want to use our own rights. Now, how much the price of rice in Nigeria now? Close to 50,000 naira.
Yeah.
But before we importing rice after importation cost and importation cost, everything, we get rice of less than 50,000 naira. So who what about? So we should understand things like that. Not that Nigerians is people, not a group of people, some people who can sit down and plan and get the sense of the masses and move it on.
Okay.
But they don't get the sense of masses. What they know that what anyhow is good is good is good. Because even understanding what a little man is going through in the street. Now you ask yourself, how many people can afford to eat 3 square meal in Nigeria today?
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking into. So if government can understand that people are not up to standards, I think they can come up with a plan that can make people come up to standards.
Okay. Anyhow, thank you so
That's
much.
what I'm looking for.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much. Yes, it is still political views. You know, the caller before this one came in also addressed the issue of infrastructure. You know, the fact that, okay, some particular infrastructure that some people make claims to are no more there. Who is to be blamed for that? Let's hear from you. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, Toma.
Oh,
How
Toma.
are you doing?
Okay, my brother.
If I,
No.
if for everybody is entitled to his own opinion. I think so. You go near Nana, so fair Nana, so no one will be never changing. It could say, I forgot to go on Jesus Christ. There's nobody that over there. That's not Nigeria.
This one you're saying now, I right. Take it back because it's blasphemy. You know, I only believe in that name you just called, and in using that name, he make that statement. Or when some part of areas I got no problem. Just continue, okay.
That is where I'm going.
Okay.
As no one has visible mother, not Monia. Monia and a visible mother, Monia and a father mother, Monia got now, as long like that, it's only me, you and a kid. Only if I get you know apart. You're not an epic corner. I want to have one. Give me a minute. Stop running here. I'll come back to you for that because you put on a level. I don't know when you're them one. Other cars on the nothing to do at the job for my. Imagine a book of Aradia, a book of Aradia, a two by papa, a Nupia, then a papa. I will come over and I will. The money don't cost on me. I said, when I got them, I was too early. Talking on Somalian. Let I go, I come on that kind of thing. I will get the money because I came again and that was doing well. I heard that thing I name out in Hatcher. I got here. How very good here. For 8 years and then, no matter when I talk about after when I got them, after I got them on the head to get an active here and the couple of again. I don't need that kind of beauty. It comes back bit now. Oh, no, all night you go away. My way high now.
No. Don't. I suggest. Don't you just need you're the one. I suggest.
I were Ethiopia wee mere election na-agwa aja na Ethiopia aka ha bukatara onwe ha na Abacha gịnị mere akpameta wee kuluo akamụọ na ahụ abụ mee mgbe na mgbe ahụ ijikwa ya oyi anagere onye ọbụla ekuluo
mgbana nke oke kesa maka South Sudan ngwa tikwa ọnụ na nke South Sudan ebe iji Ethiopia wee kwukwa maka South Sudan nke fa na-akwụsị kedu garanti ị nwere na ke garanti ị nwere na obido na Nigeria na ọ ga-akwụsị
ha ga-emechakwa wee mee gịnị wee doziri onwe ha ịghọtago na ha ezo nkewa Amerịka praktikọm Britain wee pụọ aka na-egbu onwe ha gịnị ka a na-akọrọ ihe a na-akọrị sọmachef ọ bụ Izrel otu n'aka Ijipt wee laba Ijipt ọ bụ ọ nọrọ Izrel wee nọrọkwa ọsọsọ nke ọjọọ ka a ga na-agwa anyị na be anyị anyị na-agwa anyị nke ọma sọsọ nke ọjọọ ka Ijipt na Izrel ha yi omeni years tiri ha wee pụọ Ijipt ka na Izrel n'ọkwa Amerịka na Britain gbodogbodogbodo siri nkịta na Amerịka na onwe ha Britain na ọrụ onwe ha anaghị agwa anyị nke ọma ọ nke a ga-eji wee sanitaja ndị mmadụ ewe mezi eji ama anyị ọga onweghị onye na-egbu ibe ya nobody screen each other ihe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe ndị ọkụzọ anyị nwa na-azọ ya and ọ dị mbụ everywhere.
But one of the things I for politically in Anambra State this year will beheading of somebody that represent I na Anambra State eba. You see no one in Ebibia. You know? That's one of the things we saw.
Nigeria no one system has is very, very compromised. They can do or no do. How many I just want that pastor? Okay, well, let me have a young boss here. I will know him in an officer. I'll put a neck and news ever. In other radio, other news. Gulag, as you know, and then one of them every year. I'm not going to say you will see. Just an attack, I want to deal with it. No, I will command USM. No, I want to get no, I want to Gulag. Ever from years ago, after I got to the point of the same sort of again, if I now and I knew to every Gulag, not only I feel that's why I can't do it. Man, I'm going to work in an art. Then I had a Gulag here. Oh, I didn't know the culture and I thought in June 26th of June. Okay, me a kidnapper. That's not what I can't know what I was. No attack I don't have there. But I mean, and don't just that now. Who ordered those armies and who are those armies that come to his house and kill his parents and kill his mate and his dog? Or what was your phone or phone on the upper? Or what was that's order. Up to now. 2 years ago, what was your now I have been and the car, one on your order. When I know what you will Gulag, on your Gulag, then what I make that. Or half again, and I don't know what you're doing. Yes, I never did that now. We can never pursue in this government smiling. Only the other way to do to know where referendum. Those who believe in Nigeria can still believe in Nigeria.
Okay.
It's not your more that everybody belongs to Biafra.
Thank you. Your time is Thank you. Mechizie ka onye ọzọ batakwazia n'oge ga-abụgotego. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much. It is still political views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. It is interactive, you know. It is something when you talk, you will be spoken to as well, you know. It is about you speak and you get feedback. It's not about, you know, just running your mouth and keep going and going, you know. It is interactive. We have to talk about it, you know. That's the thing. That's the essence of the thing. It's a discussion. We have to, it's conversation now. You talk, another person speak. When you are confronted, okay, please, let's ask this question. You listen now. And, you know, it is interactive. So basically, one thing presented here on this program today is the issue of infrastructure. It is also our rights as citizens to protect those things that we are done for us. As okay, just like the second Niger bridge now, for example. If we using it as citizens are not using it the right way we are supposed to be using it, at the end of the day, we want to throw the blame back on the government, that the government did not protect it well enough. But people are burning tires on our roads. A lot of things is going on, you know. And then you talk about, okay, where are all those roads that was built in those days? Who is to be blamed about it? Is the person who built it, is he going to sit down there and wait and make sure that nobody burns tire on the roads? Like, that's the question we ask ourselves. All those things, all those infrastructure, irrespective of where you believe or what you think you are supporting, those infrastructure is owned by you as a citizen. So why destroy them? So that's where patriotism comes in. So what is your political view this morning? Let's hear from you. Hello.
My brother.
Yes. Good morning.
Much
Okay. Lotekwala anyị onye na-ekwu nke mara onye na-ekwu. Okay. Ebe isi zikpọ.
Aka.
Okay, ngwa gaba n'iru.
Ọ bụ ha na-eme ihe na ịchọ iji nke onye na-ekwu maka infrastrọkchọ. Biko, ụzọ ndị ahụ a na-ekwuta ahụ about the close years of agriculture.
Some of the ones all of them maybe go. Some of the ones in Kikigelo, some of them being that now some of them now you know, or they like that.
My brother, I talk Nigeria. My brother, think that what is doing this man to throw to the you can contract on house. About 10 kilometers of road. From the first kilometer of Atago, I'm about half kilometer at Ataba. As we are ready to go to Ataba, the big go of it. If I will be the Taba, the end of that road. My brother, how the problem attitude of that. If they will go, even want to roll back, that be done. I want to do corruption for that thing. In that one sense, President of Nigeria today now, this second Nigeria is in the house. Everything is allowed. That's the second Nigeria is allowed for 20 years, 20, 40 years. What is that for time? My brother, that's all for the job.
So yeah, you do a test all why no I just bought I can test there man.
If government that one about government
and as citizens, they are part of the government as well. So it is their responsibility to protect those things, whether or not they are substandard or not. All responsibility as a citizen of this country to protect those things.
My brother, I need to but I'm not sure what they're not. Who's up on I don't know 20 years. Maybe irrespective of about I know. That will every kind of the whole length of the
yeah, no, from one spot, Obido, you know, you can metamorphosis is your work now. You should know.
My brother again. You might lose out long. Now, you may create the video. We look about what thickness of asphalt. Difference in the about 10 asphalt. I also put at it.
Yes, okay, no.
Who don't know what you said this one on board? You got about this car cannot park at the end of that road, at the corner of that road, or part of things here. We know all these things. So, the even man at this part, somebody I thought of president of the country want to say infrastructure housing. The even man at this man, no only infrastructure, solid infrastructure.
Okay.
I want to work in Anambra State. How can you move the Anambra State? I don't know.
No.
Anyway,
all these things in Epukwa, a lot of people on Anambra State give a different thing altogether. And from your own personal. And when so many people in Anambra State give like even your time is okay. A lot of people that will call in here now, that you are stating it wrongly.
I'm not you are a great man. You think you are about for now. Go back and get 20,000 newspaper of Nigeria. Go back here and get this information. All that that's the settlement in the world from Italia. Politicians are all these days. What do you confuse in the money? Go back and find out. I'm not getting nothing. Under that regime, that all the of Anambra State, the boy is okay. So, I don't know insecurity of the other that insecurity in Anambra State. Kidnapping and all that things. So, somebody already picked up
this thing na Anambra State.
It wasn't audio quote and again kidnapping na pan again like the only thing now in waking up like Piawazo and the rest of them but I know now his administration or napa. So
my brother, press man here. If an idea that I think I have not against Nigeria. Headman from Plateau State Governor. Now I know we are at 2018. One hour now from that part and that law. I approve the 3 basic law. It's law. Now from 2015 on but I'm not taking. Now headman attack. Let's over that state. Because put your hand to your part all the way to the opposite. And as you say now the part the next guy that ever with this administration pattern. That is just relevant. That you see what has to set part of yesterday and see this thing.
Okay.
Anyhow,
thank you. Your time is good. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's hear from another person. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's still political views on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. That one is another conspiracy theory of an age of Nigerians are seeing. And they've looked like most Nigerians are looking at the records of everybody that is involved, and they are just making their choice based on what they can see on ground already. Let's hear from you. Hello. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. But your name and location first before you go on.
Yes, I have a Zimba.
Why?
For Monica.
Okay, please go on.
Because certain things people have never accepted. You don't need to argue with them, it's just cut them off because it's not an achievement program. This program is because I am a matter from the people who now when we support. It is support. So I can't put it down. People want to put it away. What a corporate officer war even from the school. But I read out and I like the people where another day.
Yes. Governor deny ego. So at the time, onye ọbụla kwekwa right na-ekwukwa ihe ha na-ekwukwa still yọta mana onye kwujọ na mmadụ nke omelo ka anyị nọ ya ọma nkwu nke mmadụ like otu ansi correct kwa na nke ahụ ọma nkwu nke mmadụ emelo. Yeah. Yes.
A credible man.
That's what we see in the political space sometimes. Political interest. A politician moves towards the interest they have, or about political interest. So yeah, I am because I am no leban my brother. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is still political views on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. What are your views? We just have a few minutes, to spend in the studio, but let's hear from you still. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning, my brother. No. You protect, yeah.
Any protest, yeah. I just protest, yeah. My brother. I just protest, yeah. My protest. I just protest, yeah.
Kaza makanda na bata yo kuna road. Nda is we protect. Mandana attack some. Money some places up and the rest of them.
Out of some people, not everybody. Out of some people.
Okay, yes.
Some people. Anyone of them. Only female after that, a mother and uncle. Only once in a while. Another girl was in the way at here.
Every once in a while, but more than Chelsea ball win here. I'm your foot. More than another one.
I've been at the station on Oboda. Onwere bọọlụ agbachaa season, onwere ndị steeti na-ewetara ego na steeti.
Oh yeah, but the thing, oh, you got this and that, and
nke abụọ another one nke abụọ
another story.
ọrụ ndị nchekwa ka ọ dịrị.
All the communities, correct. All the
ndị nchekwa ime ogbenye, ndị nchekwa niile ọ bụrụ ndị nchekwa nke ndị banyere a na-ekwekwu na nke ndị anyị. Ya na-ekwekwu ndị nchekwa nke dị na ime ogbe. Ha nwa ka ọ dịrị akpọrọ ịdị otu ahụ ha na ndị aja katọlụọ. Maka na nke na akwụkwọ n'obodo a. So onye m na-achị mekewata ụdatị na ụzọ a na-anaghị arụ karịrị nke arụrụ asị na-eme ọnọdụ ya n'ọkụ na ya o wee mebie uche ọ dịghị mma. Now since onye isi ala ndị Naijiria ji wee baa n'oche 2014 wee dọkịta na kwadebe ezigbote federal road ọrụrụ n'obodo a o nwebeghị ezigbote federal road ọrụrụ na-abụ ụzọ sọ Niger Bridge a. Niger Bridge nwa na-asị na ọrụrụ o nwere some connecting road
nke ikwu kịta enwekwa a lot of federal enwe ụzọ like even ndị mmadụ even kuka na-criticize ya even commend ya na infrastructure iji gosi gị na even the minister of works like the minister of power
apụgasị ndị fashola wee ego ka ọ na-achụ ọ na-arụ ọrụ ọfụma ya ndị otu Lai Mohammed anaghị arụ ọrụ ha ego ka ha na-eri
enwegasị ife afụrụ anya
gee ntị meta gee m ntị
na-aga n'iru
bịa jee Imo steeti kịta na site Anambra kịta na jee Imo steeti ka ịfụ na ụzọ lati federal road a niile mere nghasatọ ịma moto letara n'ụzọ mbọchị a ntiri na-aga ihe dara na ụzọ ọdịka ofu dara kontena dara banye opolisi ihe ala mba ọba wee tiri ụkwụ elu mwepụta na enamel another one wee jakwa again pụtakwa ofe nọ na nke ọzọ bụ akpa garị dakwa ọzọ kontena ịta n'ụzọ federal road akụngwa ka ndị mmadụ ga ya ndị na-ebu ngwaza na kontena ha kwụrụ ụgwọ agbara ngwaza na wọl ụgwọ ya na-akwụ akwụ wee mesebe pesis wee pụta na federal road ngwaza wee daa ụzọ ahụ dị mma moto ahụ wee daa ụzọ adịghị meta moto ji ada ọ bụrụ ụzọ dị mma ị na-agụrụ onwe gị onwe ihe dị ka ada dị n'ime ya
mana ya sokwa ndị be anyị sokwa contribute na ụzọ ahụ mmebi based on the time ekwu maka iprotect the infrastructure ọ na-enwere some of that
na ụzọ a na-arụ na-eme mmebi mana ọ gbara ụzọ bido eme mmebi otu ahụ enwe ndị road maintenance ejekwa afa abịarụba ya mana ya ahapụ ya ụzọ ahụ adabadabadabadabadaba orubisie ndị mmadụ ihe sekuboko ada rụọ ya ọkechi arụ ọrụ mana jee jee zọ Nigeria ahụ arụrụ nylon njecheke nke rewe ha nwa cheke ụgbọala ejiri ndị Nigeria ma a na-agwara arụ sekọnd Niger Bridge ma gbahapụgo obodo a anọgwadachi na mmiri si isi wee gbarụọ obodo a dị very compromise that na everybody bara n'ebe afọ you must operate by the system of the federal government in Abuja. Even me igwe anwekwu na aba enwekwu powerful steeti igwe mgbe nwa steeti igwe nke kịta na igwe kịta na dị paralyzed onwechikwa onye obodo a onye ọbụla na-arụzi ọrụ from Abuja everyday na Abuja they are deciding everything for us. How can we make it in that way? Ma ọ bụ na ndị abịa agwa ihe niile agwa anyị onye ga-achị anyị agwa anyị igwe a ga-enwe agwa anyị nke a ihe niile onwechikwa nke ahụ na faile nwunye onwe anyị ihe ahụ nọdụ kịta na wee tiri nya aka ya kparị okay. It's God's will. I can't believe in that God's will. That is doing that not a matter of referendum. Let everybody be on his own way. It's not an exchange and just an taboo. I am a number one. I come to an apocalypse on them Britain to comfort a referendum for them. Many of them, it's not a shame. When I go down and I is what I was saying. Getting here with the referendum. Getting here with the Mango Candala. What's the idea? Even now, what in India, only finance.
Chịkọta na time ga-ezugo
after question what somebody is expecting this new year to enter by tomorrow. I say what I'm expecting and I wish to see is divided nation. Let me go my own way.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It is political views. Those are your views. For example, you said that you don't believe in God's will. Me, personally, I believe in God's will. God's will is the only thing I even believe in. I only accept God's will. You know, and if it is God's will that Nigeria will always progress, it will happen. You know, irrespective of the challenges we have as a nation. Every nation in the world have challenges. The people calling now, we are winding down to the end of the program, so I won't be taking any more calls. But let's break it down. Let's understand what this is. my responsibility here is also to sensitize to, mold opinion. Yes, we have challenges, but every country in the world have their challenges. But it depends on us, on how diplomatically we can work together, and move things forward. Irrespective of anything that is said about anybody, nobody, we can't single out anybody now and say this person is a saint in the political space. We can't figure, like, single a person out and say this person now is a saint in the political space. Yes, there might be some things you could say, but at the end of the day, we know exactly what we want as a country. The most important thing is that we stay peaceful, because where there is no peace, there won't be any progress of any kind. And you might just think that, okay, the only way we can go about things is to go by the violent way. Violence, sometimes some people who get to a fight and throw a punch, don't expect the way the fight will, elapse at the end of the day. You might just, like Tyson will say that everybody have something to say till you throw the first punch. That's when the punch comes on the face now. That's when the reality check comes. It takes, even each situation of war takes a lot of economy. It destroys the nation basically. So as at this point in Nigeria, it is very important that Nigeria stays peaceful, and then find ways that must be diplomatic, not ways that will be violent. That must be diplomatic to coexist as a country. And at the same time, any man that looks at another person and then begin to hate on that person because of his tribe or wherever the person is coming from, is not matured enough as a human being, because every human being on earth have the right to live, and that means the right to be who they are, to come from that particular place where they are coming from. So nobody should be judged by their ethnicity or by their skin or anything. The most important thing is that we work together as a nation. With that said, this is where I'll call it a day on this particular edition of Political Views on Airborne Day, the last of 2022. I'll see you in 2023, God's willing, by the grace of the Most High. That's why I believe in God's will, because it is by His will that we will even live tomorrow. It's not by our will. That you woke up tomorrow morning is by His will, not by you are too strong. That's the exact thing. So for someone to say, I don't believe in God's will, that's a lie. If God's will is Nigeria, I believe in Nigeria then. Thank you so much for listening to Political Views on Ebona at the 103.5 FM this morning. I am Martin Ifanshuku, AKZ. Keep a date. Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. Saturday, 10 o'clock a.m. So keep a date. Political Views will come your way on this platform again. 103.5 FM. Happy New Year in advance by tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Please subscribe, oh, please, please, please. Thank you. And just one man.